Hi everyone, I'm Travis, and today we're going to talk about problematic language and level 1 autism. So, people with level 1 autism you don't think of as typically having problematic language because you think they're very verbal, like I'm standing here talking to you right now, and we don't think of problematic language being an issue. However, I want to talk about social context and problematic language. So once we learn a language skill, we have to be able to generalize and apply it in different contexts, and that is what I struggle with. And so I'm going to share my story about how I struggle with problematic language and developing relationships and getting to know people. So an example that I've heard of often is you might teach someone how to say open door, a kid how to open door, or open door please, and get them to demand to open the door. Then the problem is they overgeneralize that, and so I do a lot of overgeneralization in my life, but they overgeneralize that to open. When you say open bottle, they're still saying open door. So they're not learning to switch that from door to bottle. And so that's a problem in itself, and challenging language. So for me, when I think of, I'm going to talk about sexual behavior and step 1, step 787, that I talk about a lot that Peter Gerhardt taught me. Well, one day I was at a Peter Gerhardt presentation and I learned how to ask someone to touch their breast, because Peter told the example of, hi, I'm John, can I touch your breast? Step 1 and step 787. And what he didn't discuss was steps 2 through 786. So I've been trying on a mission to learn steps 2 through 786 so I can get a girlfriend. And for a long time I thought that, well, let's back up. So I tend to overgeneralize. So when I first meet someone and I say hi, I'm thinking about step 787 right away as step 2. So step 787 is actually my step 2, which means I'm needing to generalize if you're an acquaintance or you're a girlfriend from step 2. And that's been very problematic, and that creates problematic language in itself in its own way, and that's another video that I'll talk about. But I want to talk about how what I learned from Peter was step 787 to getting a relationship, getting a girlfriend, was to ask a girl for permission to touch her breast, because that's what he said when he presented. The problem is people try to work with me on social skills, and they try and teach me steps 2 through step 786, but even if I get to step 600, for example, I'm generalizing step 787 as step 600. So if step 600 might be something different, but I'm still saying, can I touch your breast? Can I touch your breast? And that is a problematic language, because the only time asking for permission or consent to touch a breast should be the last step. It should be step 787. So it's not appropriate in the context of step 2 through step 786. And so when I'm doing, when I'm overgeneralizing and I'm using step 787 as step 2 or step 700, it's problematic language. And so I don't have the answers for how to work on that. It's fairly challenging, but just know that I'm working on that, and that's something that I constantly strive to get better at, is to understand how to generalize and apply language. So that's very important. So what happens for me is my step 787 generalizes down to all the way to step 2. And in generalizing down and using the phrase, can I touch your breast, from anywhere between step 2 and step 786 is completely inappropriate, because that should always be the last step in the 787 step chain that goes from hi, I'm Travis to can I touch you. It doesn't go that quickly, right? So the problem is when I use my language, I generalize down in different contexts, and I'm using can I touch your breast at step 2, it's going to scare people off, and that's really, it makes me look creepy, and it makes women uncomfortable, and it creates uncomfortable environments for all of us, right? So I need to learn how to form some other language to build the social relationship and connect with someone so that I can build a healthy relationship with them, because my problematic language is getting me in trouble and preventing me from developing healthy relationships. I think due to my problematic language issue and challenge, that it makes reciprocal conversations very difficult for me. It makes perspective taking very difficult. I have a lot of mind blindness because I appear to have mind blindness simply because I don't have the language skills to connect with you on what you're talking about. I have the skill to connect at you at level 787, but I don't have the skill set to be able to connect with you at level 2 to 786. And so that problematic language not only is an issue with language, but it creates barriers to perspective taking, it creates mind blindness, and it makes it hard to have a reciprocal conversation with someone. So that's very important to know, and something that I need people to understand is that we have to work on those skills to be able, and it's more than just like I need to learn social skills, guys. It's perspective taking, it's mind blindness, it's problematic language, it's a whole wide spectrum of things that need to be put into place to help me learn how to develop a healthy relationship. So how I've sort of figured this out is this all happened by accident, I think. I went to a Peter Gerhardt presentation in 2011, heard him talk about step 1 and step 787, and that just stuck with me. And I understood step 1, I understood step 787. He didn't really talk about steps 2 through 786, and I was left trying to figure them out on my own. And that's what also, that led to my special interest in applied behavior analysis. I wanted to figure out those steps to building a relationship and getting a girlfriend. And that just led to me understanding this new aha moment that it's a problematic language issue too, and not just a social skills deficit, but there's problematic language involved. And so that's kind of how I got to where I am today. And moving forward, I need to understand what the behaviors are and what the problematic language is, so that I can learn how to use language in the appropriate, generalize and apply language in the appropriate social context. I do think something unexpected that happened, and seeing Peter Gerhardt present that made it difficult for me, is not having the support staff at his level to be able to go back and take back what he said to them and talk about that, discuss it with them. So I'm left interpreting step 1 and step 787 on my own. And even though Peter talked about, surprisingly, even though Peter talked about what not to do, you don't come up to a girl and skip from step 1 to step 787. Unfortunately, because I didn't have any replacement behaviors, that's just what I adapted, and that became my go-to skill set, is to go from step 1 to step 787, and that's created all kinds of behavioral issues for me and all kinds of problems in my life. So I am currently trying to disseminate the science of ABA therapy and help people understand problematic language a little bit, because I think people often think problematic language is only a level 3 autism issue or a level 2 autism issue. They don't typically think of it with level 1 or Asperger's syndrome. And I think that problematic language generalizes and applies across all 3 levels of autism. So I'm trying to meet behavior analysts and meet parents of autistic children and meet autistic people in general and help them understand my problematic language, so that they can generalize that and apply it to helping themselves or their clients or their kids learn how to navigate and generalize and apply problematic language to their lives. If you guys found this video helpful and interesting, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button to my YouTube channel. Follow me on YouTube. I'll post a link here in the videos, and I will keep updating you guys on information and things like that. But also reach out to me at Travis.breeding at iCloud.com. So Travis.breeding at iCloud.com. Text or call me at 260-388-2910 and hit me up on Facebook. I'll include that link in there as well. So thanks for watching this video, and please reach out to me and get in touch with me. Oh, and my Venmo, if you guys want to donate to my cause to help me disseminate the science of ABA and autism and help people understand and accept autism, my Venmo is BREETE03. Feel free to make a donation. I appreciate that. If not, just follow along and watch my videos. I appreciate that as well. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.